My name is Earl Kelly. I am the CEO of City and Group, and I am very excited to bring this presentation to you today. So let's get right into it. Sorry. All right. So cloud computing isn't just a tech upgrade, it's a game changer for how you operate, grow, and stay ahead of the competition. So I'm going to break down why moving to the cloud is one of the smartest decisions that your company and you as a CEO can make. First of all, we have flexibility. Now, the cloud adapts to your needs instantly. It allows you for more storage, faster processing, and new applications. You can scale up or down without heavy investments. Plus, your team can work from anywhere with an internet connection and keeping your productivity high. The cloud is very flexible when it comes to adding and subtracting new equipment. So if you're thinking about purchasing a server, you can purchase that server today. But if next week you need another 2 terabytes worth of storage, you would have downtime. You would have another costly investment to make more storage in that server. Whereas with the cloud, you could literally just add the storage on without downtime, without any big investment. You just put it on. So uh, you also gain efficiency. So managing IT infrastructure is time consuming and expensive, specifically if you have an in-house data center. Now with the cloud, you can skip the maintenance headaches and you focus on literally running your business. So instead of worrying about making sure that all of your software is up to date and all of your firmware is up to date and all of your drives are up to date, you're literally just managing your business application that's running on the server. You can deploy applications faster, you can make workflows run a whole lot smoother, and you can cut your cost without sacrificing performance. So staying competitive means that you have to stay ahead of the curve. And that's where the cloud gives you strategic value. The cloud gives you access to cutting edge technologies like AI, automation, and machine learning without requiring a massive investment. So you can innovate faster, outpace your competitors, and focus specifically on growth. But as you embrace the cloud, security needs to be your top priority. So let's dive into some cloud related security. uh, let's dive into what cloud related security really means. So, cloud security is a combination of policies, technologies, and best practices to protect your data, applications, and infrastructure from threats. And I want you to focus there on policies and best practices because many times we think that moving to the cloud or having an IT department means that we don't have to worry about security anymore. It's important that your policies and best practices are security related as well. So, you need a structured approach to ensure that your business runs securely and without disruption. A strong cloud security framework helps you to tackle cyber incidents like unauthorized access, data breaches, and disruptions. And don't just assume that your cloud provider is handling everything. Security is a shared responsibility, and we're going to break that down in just a few moments. Now, we've talked about what cloud security is, so let's talk about why that matters for your business. The cloud gives you the ability to scale, but with that ability comes security risk. So moving your business to the cloud means rethinking how you protect data and prevent breaches. Cloud providers secure the infrastructure itself, but the responsibility for protecting your data uh, is on you. Managing user access and configuring services correctly, again, falls on you. So if a misstep exposes your data, then the problem is yours to handle, not theirs. So when you think about the cloud, the equipment is being provided by your cloud provider. What you do with that equipment is on you. So when cyber threats become more advanced, you got to implement strong security practices to protect your sensitive data, meet your compliance standards, and avoid operational downtime. Cloud security is not optional, and it's your responsibility. Many times we move things to the cloud and we just assume that the cloud provider is handling that, and that is not the case. So before you can strengthen your defenses, you need to understand the biggest threats in the cloud. So the cloud opens up to you as a small business new possibilities, but it also introduces security risks that you can't afford to ignore. Now, here are some of the biggest ones that you need to watch out for. The first one is data breaches. We hear about them all the time on the news. If sensitive data lands in the wrong hands, it's game over, right? So hackers go after customer records, financial data, and business secrets. So a breach could cost you not just money, but also your reputation. Account hijacking. Weak passwords or phishing attacks can let someone take control of your cloud account. So once they're inside, they can steal files, impersonate you, and even lock you out of your systems. And let me just focus on that for just a moment. When moving, way back in the day, when moving from Exchange, which is email, so from moving from Exchange in-house to Office 365 online, many times the customer would use the same weak password that they had in-house. They would move that online. So you have to understand that by moving online, you're exposing your account to the internet, to the entire world. So having a strong password is important. Now, why is that important in your email? Well, someone getting into your email and acting as you, sending emails as you, can do a couple of things. Number one, they can get all of the information that's in your email. Think about it today. How much information is in your email, right? Do you have bank account information? Do you have spreadsheets of employees? Do you have spreadsheets of clients that you forwarded on to other people internally? Right? All of that information is in your email. In this instance, I'm going to tell you about, there was an account hijack wherein they sent information to that company's customers and talked with that company's customers like they were with that company. They ended up asking him to send them a wire transfer, and the company's customer did send a wire transfer to the hacker. So then he was mad at the company when they didn't have his money, and he was out that money because he thought he was talking to that company. So it's very important. Account hijack is one of the biggest things that we see. So it's very important that you have two-factor authentication and you have strong passwords. Now, not all breaches are caused by hackers breaking in. However, sometimes they happen because settings weren't properly set and doors were left open. So if you don't configure security settings properly, you could be exposing your data without realizing. Sometimes the biggest threats come from within. Employees or contractors with too much access can unintentionally or intentionally sometimes cause leaks. So one shared login or misused credential can make security a disaster. This is why, as an IT person, I tell you, don't share credentials with anyone. Your password and your user ID is for you and not for anywhere else. No one else should be using your password. If they are, then that's a problem that you should be dealing with. So, but don't worry, recognizing these threats is the first step. And so now we're going to look at how you can fight back with security best practices. So the cloud doesn't have to be a security nightmare. If you follow these best practices, you can lock down your data and stay ahead of cyber threats. First off, data encryption. Now, data encryption keeps your data unreadable to outsiders, even if someone intercepts it. So encryption ensures that they can't access it. So when I talk about data encryption, that can be a couple of different things. That can be encryption on the drives themselves. That can be email encryption. It can be information at rest. It can be information in transit. Data encryption is amazing for that. Also, identity and access management. So, not everyone in your organization needs full access to everything in your organization, right? So, identity and access management, we call it IAM. It helps you to limit who can see and modify sensitive information. You should also conduct regular quarterly security audit. Apparently, I can't talk today. Audits. Security isn't a set it and forget it deal. You need to continuously review your cloud security to find vulnerabilities before hackers do. You should also do compliance checks, and regulations exist for a reason, and regulations are getting more and more and more. So, to protect your customers and your business, regulations exist. So, staying ahead of compliance rules ensures that you don't just meet your industry standards, but also you avoid fines and breaches. Are you a CPA? Are you a CMMC level 1 client? Should you be following NIST regulations? Do you do business with anyone in California? Do you do business with anyone in the state of New York? Do you do business with anyone in Maine? All of these states, all of these things have regulations that are required in order to do business and in order to use technology to do business. So making sure you're compliant is important. Now, that being said, cyber attacks will happen, and it's just a matter of when. The big difference between minor damage and a total disaster is having a solid incident security plan. So have a clear response plan that helps you check and detect whether or not you can recover from a disaster. You should be able to detect, contain, and fix security issues fast. Now, even with top-notch security, things can go wrong. So a solid disaster recovery plan ensures that you can restore critical data and systems after an attack. So making sure that you have your disaster recovery plan, and not only that, that you've tested your data recovery plan. So a lot of people assume that cloud providers handle security, but that's not necessarily the case. As I hinted earlier, you have a role in protecting your data. Cloud providers, as I said, they manage the infrastructure, but they don't secure your files, accounts, and user access. So if you don't configure your security settings properly, your data is at risk, not theirs. So you need to actively manage your access controls, encryption compliance, and monitoring for all of your cloud services. And the strongest security comes from understanding your responsibilities and making sure that no gaps exist in your protection. Let's talk about how we can help you secure your cloud environment. So cloud security is complex, but you don't have to figure it out alone, right? We help businesses like yours strengthen security, reduce risk, and stay compliant. Our team provides expert security assessments. We also provide AI assessments. We can fix vulnerabilities, and we can tailor a solution to fit your specific needs. Whether it's your IAM policies, your compliance, or your disaster recovery, we've got you covered. So don't wait for a breach to force action, right? Let's upgrade your cloud security today. And you can reach out to us for a free AI and cybersecurity risk assessment at https://citian.group/CSS. Or you can call us at 904-907-8503. Again, citian.group/CSS at 904-907-8503. Also, join us every Wednesday at 11 a.m. for Secure and Soar, the CEO's Guide to Cybersecurity and AI Success. It's hosted by me. Every Wednesday, we talk about how we can help you manage your AI risk and your cybersecurity risk. Streaming on all live platforms. we would love to have you there. So until next time, this is me saying have a great week and be super kind to each other. Thank you.